Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to help this channel grow. And if you're a member, you're welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft a friendly beginner Bustier top step by step. So if you want to know how I'll be going about it, keep on watching. First thing I did was to go ahead and fold in my drafting paper into two because we're going to be drafting both the back and the front. Second thing I would do is to go ahead to draw a straight line, which is my guide line as well my soldier line. I'll take my soldier measurement, which is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. I will mark it up on this soldier line like so. Once I'm done marking it up, I'm going to slant it down by 1 inch because you know the soldier is not straight. Now the next thing I will do is to move down to my armhole deep, which is 7.5, and mark it up. After marking it up, I'll take this 7 inch I used from here. I'm going to mark it up here as well, like so. Then I'll go ahead now to connect that up. Once I'm done connecting it up, I'll go ahead now to measure from the soldier to the nipple point, which is 10 inch. From my soldier to the half length, which is 15 inch, and from my soldier to the length of this top, which is 18.5 inch. Now I'll still go ahead to mark from the soldier to the underbust line, which is 13.5. I'll connect that with a straight line. Here is the chest line, here is the bust point line, and here is the underbust line, and here is the waistline. Here is the length of the top. Now the next thing I will do is to take my bust span separation, that's the nipple to nipple measurement, and divide it by 2. Mine is 7. 7 divided by 2 will give me 3.5. Then I'll add ½ inch to it. I will mark that. Now the next thing I will do is to go ahead and measure whatever I have from here to here and divide that by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.075. I will go in by ½ inch. Then I'm going to connect it up like this. Once I'm done connecting that up, from here I will go down by 3 by 3 inch for the neck width and the neck dip. Then I'll connect it up. Next thing I'll do now is to come here. I'll go down by 6.5 inch and mark. After connecting it, the next thing I'll do is to come here. I'm going to go down by 9 inch depending on how deep you want the neck deep to be. Alright, I'll go down by 9 inch and mark that up. After marking this up, I'll go ahead now to take my French scarf. I'm going to place it up like this and connect it all the way to where I mark it up. Now I'll come here. I'm going to go down by ½ inch and mark that up. After marking, we're going to go ahead and connect it all the way to that ½ inch which we marked like so. Then I'll just go ahead now and connect this other part straight. This is the new chest line, right? Now, next thing I will do is to come here. I'm going to go out by 1 inch. Here at this downer part, I'll go out by 0.75 and 0.75. I will come down here to the bust point line. I'm going to go down by 3/4 inch. But depending on how bossy you are, you can go down by 1.5 inch or 2 inch. For size 34, I went down by 3/4 inch and connect that up like this. And I'm also going to connect this other point here. Now that we are done doing so, what I want to do is to come back here. I'm going to transfer this, the dark we went out by 3/4 inch here, and the other side we're going to mark it up here. All right, like so. Now I'll still come back here. I'm going to go out by 0.25. That's because I really want it to be fitting. All right, I will go ahead and connect that up like this. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll come on my waistline, I'll put 1/4 of my waist measurement, which around my waist is 26. 26 divided by 4 will give me 6.5. Then I'll replace back the dark allowance. Measure whatever you have from here to here and replace it back, okay? Then I'll go ahead now to add my 0.75 for the allowance. I will come here on my underboss. I'll put 1/4 of my underboss. Round my underboss is 30. 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5. Then I will go ahead now to mark it up and measure whatever I will have from here to here and replace it back. Then I'm going to add my allowance as well. Then I'm going to do the same thing here at my boss. I'll take round the boss. Round the boss is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. I will go ahead measure whatever I have here, which is 1.025. I'll replace it back. Then I'm going to add my 3/4 inch of allowance. After marking it up, I'm just going to go ahead and connect it, and we're going to connect that up. Once we're done connecting that up, I will blend this up here. I'm done cutting it. This is what it looks like. I'll go ahead now and separate it up, all right? And cut our dark. Just go and make sure you go ahead to level them up.
The C and the 2 here.
I'll just mark one for the center front and 2 as well.
Now,
and we'll move now to this back to make the back piece. What I'll do is just to go ahead and take up the front soldier. I'm going to be placing it up like this. First of all, I'll just repeat the same thing. That's the bust point separation, the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which was 3.5 plus 1/2 inch. Then I'll go ahead to connect that up, okay? Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be creating a dark of 3/4 inch to the left and 3/4 inch to the right, okay? And mark that up like we did for the front. Then I'll go ahead now to connect that up. Now I will go ahead to rule a straight line all the way like so. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do right now is I want to come here and make sure I go down by 1.5. You can go down by 1.5, 2 inch or 3 inch, depending on what you want to achieve, okay? How deep you want it to be at the back. Connect that up. This is just some example I'm giving you, or you can even go down more. It's up to you. Then first thing I will do now to go ahead and just level it up so I will know which part go with the other part, all right? Then I'm going to cut this up like so. As you can see, this is what you have. Then now I will just go ahead now to go up here by 1/2 inch. That's to avoid the zipper from looking funny at the back. Connect it up like this, like so. Then you cut that up. Once I'm done cutting it, I took back the other piece to show you what it looked like. Now next thing I'll do is I'll decide to go ahead now and cut up the first line, all right? I'll cut up the first line. Like I say, depending on how deep you want it to be at the back, I'll cut the first line, all right? Then we are done with this tutorial. I hope you find it helpful. If you do not forget to give me a thumbs up, like, comment. I hope to see you on the Sewing DIY. Thank you so much.